I have a rhetorical question for you. I already know you won. I have a rhetorical question for you. Who's your daddy? Me, smiling on the phone, answering, I'd rather not say. Oh, never mind, because now I am your daddy. Kevin, I don't understand why you get so flustered. I knew you were gonna walk this case. You stress out over bullshit, and you're the only one that believes you won't do it. I'm getting free drinks and a big hard cock tonight. In a way, our relationship has evolved a great deal. Withholding sex seems to work wonders. I called and left a breathy, moaning message on his phone on Tuesday. He told me I wasn't to do that while he was in trial because it distracted him. I called the next day and moaned, Kevin Joe. The other day when I left that message, I was faking it. But now, it's real. Later that day, I called him and told everyone was going to El Mundo for dinner, and I asked if I could come. Then I asked, why wasn't I invited? Okay, we'll see you there. I decided to stay home and mope instead. The best part about going through shit on the net is that when I'm with my real friends, I can really appreciate them for who they are. Yesterday I went to the zoo with Jacinta, John, and Christian, John's young son. Jacinta's asked me to take photos of Christian because I haven't photographed him in almost a year. All the animals were asleep. That sucked. I did get a few peacock photos. I think animals should have 3 weeks where they're out in a reserve and getting some peace and quiet. Like everybody needs to have some own peace and run around. Last night I hung out with Millie and Jacinta, and I said something I feel so fucking stupid about. I have admitted before here that I am racist, and it's not because I choose to be that way, but it was from years and years of hearing that racial slurs spewed out of my father's mouth, slithering out like the vile creature he is. Programs of Hitler constantly plagued our TV, and it was a belief of both my parents that white supremacy was an indomitable way of life as well as thinking. Of all things about myself, I hate that this ship floats around in my head, and sometimes it comes out when I least expect it, and it embarrasses me to a degree you can't possibly comprehend unless you were raised in such a manner and you do your best to try and forget. Last night Millie got us both chais, but didn't get one for Jacinta, so when he said he would go get another one, we both said, no, we'll share ours. Then I said, Millie, we're Southern white girls. Jacinta quickly said, I'm not white. And then I felt like a shit because she isn't. She's Peruvian and Puerto Rican. But she was raised that way. Sometimes I get so pissed off at the classifications of this society. We are both girls that were raised in the military, so we know there are certain rules that apply to us as women. Then I started thinking about myself. Of all my Russian friends, tell me that I'm not American because I have Russian soul. That's the tragic thread in my life that helps weave the fabric of how I define myself. Then I started thinking more and more about it. Am I really white? Do I subscribe to the beliefs that seem to be so popular in the region if you are white? I have been with lovers of all different races and nationalities. Not all of them have been white either. I'm not married and I don't have children. That's a white thing to do. Propagation of the species into a society not much better than a cesspool that does not accept diversity very well, even though their main emphasis is on America being a melting pot. I feel bad about saying that to her, but then I felt worse for ascribing such banal attitude to myself. Is this really how I see myself? Shouldn't I be redefining myself on a daily basis? I told Jacinta that I have never been more happy with myself and who I am as a person. I called Diana on the phone last night and we talked for over 3 hours. It was the best conversation on the phone I've had in a while. I told her how I heard that and how it made me feel. She also happens to be Puerto Rican, too. She understood in a way how I could say something so stupid, but at the same time, she didn't make me feel bad about saying it either. She told me she admired me for the personal strides I've made